All right. Good afternoon, everyone. We are on the record. Today is Tuesday, the 20th day of February in the year 2024. This is a City Council caucus meeting of the Jersey City Municipal Council. We had a scheduled 4 p.m. start. The clock on my cell phone is showing 4:02 p.m. May we have a roll call for the commencement of this caucus? Councilperson Ridley.
Here.
Councilperson Prinzary is not here yet. Okay. Councilperson Baggiano is not here. Councilperson Saleh is not here. I know I saw Councilperson Solomon, but we'll mark him absent until he comes in. Councilperson Gilmore. Councilperson DeGise, not here yet. Councilperson Rivera. And Council President Waterman.
Yeah.
We have 4 council members in attendance at 4:02 p.m. On behalf of Council President and the members of the Municipal Council, in accordance with the public laws of 1975, Chapter 231, the Open Public Meetings Act, also known as the Sunshine Law, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by the posting on the bulletin board of the first floor of City Hall, the annual notice, which is the schedule of meetings and caucuses of the Municipal Council for the calendar year 2024, and filed in the office of the City Clerk on Thursday, November 30th, 2023. In addition, at its time of its preparation, the agenda of this meeting was similarly disseminated on Friday, February 16th, 2024 at 5:15 p.m. to the mayor, municipal council, business administrator, corporation council, and local newspapers, and posted on the city's website, so I can certify as to our total compliance with the Sunshine Law. Before we move on, I'm going to mark Councilperson Prinzary present at 4:03 p.m. and Councilperson Saleh present at 4:03 p.m. and Councilperson Solomon present at 4:03 p.m. So now we have 7 council members present at 4:03 p.m. and I'm going to turn it over to the council president.
It's just here.
Oh, and I'll mark Councilperson Baggiano present at 4:04 p.m. So now we have 8 council members present at 4:04 p.m. Council President?
Good afternoon. Our first director, Director Shea.
Good afternoon, Council President, council members. With me, of course, is our Director of Public Safety Communications, Robert Baker, because most of today's resolutions involve his area of expertise. I'll begin. The first thing that the public safety has is agenda item 10.10. It's resolution 24098. It's a resolution authorizing the Jersey City Police Department to participate in the acquisition of surplus Department of Defense equipment under the federal 1033 program. This resolution is just to allow us to be participants. We have never accepted anything from the federal government in about the last 5 or 6 years. However, the Office of Emergency Management would be interested if high water rescue vehicles come available, which is why we want to stay in the program. It specifically does not allow us to take anything armored, weapons, etc. And in addition, if we were to consider accepting anything, we would come back to the council with a separate resolution asking for permission for that item. This is just to give us permission to remain in the program.
What's the utility of high water vehicles?
What's the utility of high water rescue?
Yeah, like what would we use it?
Most municipalities around the state have participated in this program. And as Director said, they're non-armored vehicles. They're vehicles that we would utilize should we have to go in and rescue people during flooding conditions.
Do we have any currently in our city or no?
Do not.
Okay.
We have one for the fire department, but it's a totally different type vehicle.
Okay. Thank you.
Excellent.
Okay, the second item that we have on before I turn it over to Director Baker would be agenda item 10.12, file number 24-100. It's a resolution authorizing the City of Jersey City to apply and accept a grant award from the State of New Jersey Office of the Attorney General, Department of Law and Public Safety for the Safe and Secure Communities Fiscal Year 2024 Grant Program. This is going to offer us $150,498 from the Attorney General's forfeiture funds, and we're going to match it with $200,000. It's going to defray the salaries of 8 officers that are already on the payroll. Okay, then Council President, Council, with your permission, I'll turn it over to Director Baker, who is much more conversant in the next 5.
Mr. Baker, before you go, I just wanted to mark Councilperson DeGise present at 4:05 PM. So we now have all 9 council members present at 4:05. All right, Mr. Baker, you're on.
Thank you. Good evening, Council President, Council. First is item 10.9, Resolution 24-097. A resolution authorizing an agreement with Let's Think Wireless LLC for the support of proprietary computer hardware and software maintenance and support services for the Department of Public Safety without public bidding. This particular resolution is for our wireless network, which is part of the redundancy of the public safety network.
Director, is this a new vendor or is this an existing contract? So is this a new vendor or an existing vendor?
Oh, no, this is a yearly. This is the same vendor we use in year.
Okay, thank you.
Our next item is 10.11, Resolution 24-099. It's a resolution ratifying an award of a contract to Entrado Life and Safety Solutions Corp. for the maintenance of the 911 system on the New Jersey contract for the Department of Public Safety, Division of Communication. This is simply the yearly maintenance and security software upgrades for our present 911 Viper system.
Does it allow us to pinpoint like where someone is calling from? Is that the technology that's being bid on, or does that make sense? So like when someone calls 911, is this the system that essentially pinpoints where someone's location is when they're in distress, or what is the system exactly?
Yeah, it's the
Entire thing?
entire system.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, the system you're referring to is a cooperative system with the phone companies that by law they have to maintain to work with us. If one of Bob's call takers gets a dropped call, then the phone company would track that call back to the location and inform his operators of the location.
Is he looking at the bus? Oh, okay, I didn't understand that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Our next item is item 10.13, Resolution 24-101. It's a resolution authorizing an agreement with Network Management Solutions Incorporated for providing maintenance and support services for the Division of Public Safety, computer infrastructure, and related systems without public bidding. And as you can see, NMS provides with us certified network engineers 24/7. As you know, public safety does not close. We are open all the time. This is 125 servers at 49 locations.
That's good.
Next item is 10-14, Resolution 24-102. It's a resolution awarding a contract to Gold Type Business Machines for providing maintenance and support services for the Department of Public Safety for the local area network, computers, the fire Zetron system, and the NCIC 2000, which is a proprietary bid without public bidding. And GTM provides service, on-site service for all our hardware and printer problems and replacements at all the locations, along with servicing the Zetron Fire 911, which is similar to the Entrado on the other side yearly. And they also provide proprietary software, which is the NCIC 2000, which the police use for looking up plates and records. Next item is 10-15, Resolution 24-103. It's a resolution authorizing an agreement with Gold Type Business Machines for the support and maintenance of the Vigilant Automatic License Plate Reader System
for the Department of Public Safety without public bidding. The ALPR system, as you know, we extended it. It's not just on the police vehicles now, but I've moved it to the traffic unit. So as their vehicles travel through the city, it's finding, unpaid tickets and booting and bit, and hopefully will do greatly for that department.
To that point, thank you, Director. Could you give us an update on where it stands with the implementation in traffic? Is it on all their vehicles at this point, some of them? And how is it going in terms of enforcing, particularly the residential parking permits?
Well, it's actually replaced the parking permits. As you know, traffic unit no longer prints the bit. So it's this ALPR system as they drive up and down, we'll find the scuff laws and, people who haven't, got a permit.
Right.
Along with unpaid tickets, what's booting, the whole bit. If they come across a police violation, then they just notify the PD and come and ticket.
And is it on all the vehicles now?
All their, so all their vehicles, it's actually being installed. We're upgrading it. We're getting rid of the old system and putting this brand new system in.
Would it be possible to get some data in, the last month or the last quarter of, how many tickets the Parking Enforcement Division has been able to issue using the automatic license plate reader?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
So you're saying it's fully operational at this point, or it's going?
Not the new system. They're installing it as we speak.
Okay.
Last item is item 10-16, resolution 24-104. It's a resolution ratifying the award for a one-year open-end contract to AT&T Mobility for unlimited plans for wireless devices and services under state contract for the Department of Public Safety, Division of Communications and Technology Center. As you can see, this is the contract for all of the cell phones, tablets, modems in our police and fire vehicles. And we're leaving it open-end because we're growing. So as we grow, it allows me to keep installing it into new vehicles and so forth, so on.
Questions?
Yes, Director Shea, if you could, I miss 10-12 to ask about the actual functions or the work that the 8 officers will be doing as it relates to the community grant. What specifically would they will be?
No, it's not. What it is the Attorney General, we passed their evaluation, for lack of a better word, for our community relations efforts, our work with senior citizens, our work with the schools, our community events that we do every year, our holiday events, the giving out the Christmas. And as a result, they offered to help fund those 8 officers, $150,000. It's not a lot, but it's money. It's money we don't have to spend. So it's not that they're telling us hire another 8 officers and assign them. It's that they've already evaluated our community efforts and said, as a result, we're willing to give you this grant.
Oh, so because of those
Because of what
activities
we're
that
doing
they
already.
engage in, they're willing to subsidize up to 150.
Yeah, they're willing to let us share in some of this money they're making available.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Council.
Thank you, thank you.
Director Shea, I've been asking for the last 2 months. We sent you a email and I have not gotten an answer. And I think that's an insult to this whole council here. I would like an answer. I don't have to go through the business administrator. It's coming directly from the city council. Would you please get me the information that I had asked for?
Yeah, I'll talk to you afterwards.
I wanted to speak to you privately before, but I got here late. But I think enough time has gone by.
Okay, we'll talk privately.
Director Kears?
Oh,
Good afternoon, President Waterman, members of the council. I have 7 items before you this evening. Resolution 24-110, 10.22. Resolution will authorize the award of a contract to Foley Power Systems to provide forklift repairs as needed for the Division of Automotive Services through the Sourcewell Purchasing Co-op. Total amount of the contract is $60,000 with a temporary encumbrance of $1,000 funded through the DPW operating account.
Question.
24-111, 10.23, resolution will authorize award of a contract to Cambria Automotive Company to provide heavy-duty parts and repairs for heavy-duty vehicles through the Sourcewell Purchasing Co-op. Total amount of the contract is $40,000 with a temporary encumbrance of $500 funded through the DPW operating account. Next is 24-121, 10.33. Resolution will authorize the award of an open-end contract to General Plumbing Supply for the purchase and delivery of plumbing supplies through the NJ Cooperative Alliance. Total amount of this contract is $50,000 with a temporary encumbrance of $5,000 funded through the DPW operating account. Next is 24-122, 10.34. Resolution will authorize the award of an open-end contract to Jewel Electric Supply Company to supply various electrical supplies under the state contract for the Division of Buildings and Streets. Total amount of the contract is $100,000 with a temporary encumbrance of $10,000 funded through the DPW operating account. Next is 24-123, 10.36. Resolution will authorize a renewal of a contract with All American Recyclable Corporation for the disposition of mixed paper products for the Division of Recycling. City desires to exercise the second of 3 renewal options for an additional 1-year period effective January 1, 2024 through December 31st, 2024. Total amount of this contract is $320,000 funded through the recycling and enforcement account. Next is 24-124, 1037. Resolution will authorize the award of an open-end contract to Sharon Williams Company for the purchase and delivery of paint and related supplies for the Educational Service Commission, ESCNJ. Total amount of this contract is $150,000 with a temporary encumbrance of $10,000 funded through the DPW capital account. And the final is 24-092, 10.4. Resolution will authorize a renewal of a shared services agreement between the Municipal Utilities Authority and the city to provide maintenance for stormwater catch basins, which is the first of our 5-year renewal option. Authority will pay the city $700,000 per year to maintain.
So this is clearing out the catch basins? And so MUA is paying us to do it? Got it. So if we have catch basins we think are need clearing out, we should contact you?
Yes, yeah. Well, what we try and do, Council, especially during, heavy rain events and things like that, if you have an area location, absolutely.
Great, thank you.
Who's the go-to for that within the DPW?
It's actually the MUA, but we coordinate with them. So it's a dual effort. We'll do some on their part if they have, during a full-scale rain event or potential flooding, it's all hands on deck.
Okay.
We'll do it as you have spots, as I said, to Captain Solomon, let us know.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Council President, members of the council. We have several items today for the Department of Infrastructure. I'll start with item 10.29. Do you guys want to come up? Item 10.29, Resolution 24-117. This is a resolution authorizing the award of a contract to Batata Construction for the Cole Street Streetscape Project and 12th Street Streetscape Project, which will involve several scopes of work, including drainage, sanitary, sewer work, water main work, and streetscape elements, which will mean reconstruction and construction of the sidewalk, of the roadway, installation of a protected bikeway, and other public space elements on both of those streets. This is obviously in an area that affects both Ward D and Ward E. So I just want to recognize that we've been working over the past year, maybe longer at this point, with Councilperson Saleh and Solomon and their teams this project, and looking forward to starting construction soon if approved. Okay, I'll hand it over to my team, the division directors, to go through the rest of the items, starting with engineering.
How are you, Council President, Council? I have one resolution to bring to you today. It's Resolution 24-118, and it's agenda number 10.30. It's a resolution approving the notice in lieu of deed notice for Hudson County Chromate Site number 007. It's the portion of Jersey City Boulevard in accordance with NJDEP. Also, we had to work with New Jersey Turnpike because it's right near a lot of their infrastructure. And this is an institutional control that we've used in the past because underground does have a lot of infrastructure. There's an 84-inch sewer interceptor, as well as a 16-inch sewer and a lot of turnpike infrastructure. So this will just put the responsibility on Honeywell to do the cleaning up if they were to need to dig to access any of that underground.
Paul, have you checked into any of those issues I spoke to you about over the past several days on buildings and construction and everything with Jennifer?
Yeah,
Jennifer here?
we've
Oh, she's
been
here.
reaching out, and I'll continue to talk to you about anything specific. But yeah, everything that you brought up to us, we have checked into.
Because I had one shut down yesterday, working, doing major construction on a federal holiday, and it's really getting to be annoying. And the people in this whole area, up in that area, are really tired of it.
Yeah, that one's news to me. I didn't hear
I'll
anything
speak to
about that
Jennifer when
specific
she
one.
gets up about that Saturday morning.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Good afternoon, Council President, members of council. Transportation Division has one resolution. It's agenda item number 10.32. It's resolution 24-120. This is a resolution authorizing the renewal of an agreement with River North Transit LLC, otherwise known as VIA, for the VIA Jersey City service. This is a resolution to authorize the third and final contract option. As you're all aware, late in 2019, there was an RFP issued and a contract awarded to VIA to provide these services. It was a 2-year contract with 3 one-year renewal options. This is the 5th and final year, the 3rd and final renewal. And the contract, the VIA and Jersey City team worked together to propose the same exact level of a service for the same amount of funding in 2023, despite what we're seeing in the economy in terms of inflation and things. So I've handed out a short information sheet that Jersey City and the VIA team have put together, just sort of highlighting some of the accomplishments this year. If you look at the sort of third page, the last page, it really does speak to some of the performance improvements that the team has collectively been able to make. In 2023, the program experienced a 10% increase in total ridership. That despite, or, including the reduction in average wait times of 8%, increasing on-time percentage of 16%, increasing the amount of unique individuals who use the service of 31%. And importantly, one of the changes that was made was a tweak to the algorithm, which resulted in a much lower rate of unavailable seat, which is something that we heard from the community that is always a sort of a cause for concern when someone's looking to request a ride. They don't always receive it, but through the changes that we've made, we've been able to bring that number way down. So the system just celebrated its 2 millionth ride and will continue to grow in the future. The VIA team is here. If there are any questions specifically for them or for us, we're happy to talk about them.
Can't hear you.
Has it been changed about picking up certain people at their houses, especially seniors, instead of having them walk 2 or 3 blocks?
Yeah.
Doing it?
Can they come up? Can they come up so we could ask some questions?
So, Councilman, to answer that question, the last time that we did the renewal, you had brought that up. Since then, they've done education sessions at senior centers specifically, and they've worked with individual riders to turn on the function so that if they need to be picked up right in front of their door, they can be. If they don't need to be and they can walk a block or 2, then they'll use that option. So we've clarified that with the users.
Even certain people, a lot of people, especially at night, do not want to walk a block or two.
Yeah, so it's on an honor system. We don't really verify that someone is, a senior or not. So usually people use that option if they really need it. So when they need it, they're asking to be picked up at exactly in front of their door or whatever their location is, and the vehicle comes and gets them.
Okay, all right.
So question about the contract. You said third and final renewal. So what happens after this? Are we done with VIA or are we revamping the whole contract after this?
So in order to continue the service, we have to do a new RFP, a new bid for the service for next year.
So with regards to the actual revenue, because the city received 50% of the revenue, what does that number look like? That's the only thing I don't see on the printout is.
Do you have the number offhand by chance? It equates to roughly 600,000. It's about 50,000 per month in rider revenue that comes back to the city.
If you can get the exact number.
We could send it over to you.
And via, I do want to give you guys kudos for on the fly, adjusting things on the fly. I'm still a little, not happy with the service and the maintenance of the lot on Iggy. So if we can just, how do you guys do you have a cleaning contract that come and do that? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, so our DPW does pick up the trash services, but there
Oh, no,
is-
I live right there. DPW is not, don't do that, Mike. DPW don't, if they supposed to come, they don't come. My camera touched that whole lot.
Okay.
I don't ever recall DPW coming, and it's a little garbage can, so I don't even know why DPW would become. It's literally a little household garbage can.
Yep.
A couple of those.
Yeah, so the VIA team has an on-site manager who's responsible for collecting the garbage. We will work with them to make sure that it's done on a much more regular basis. But DPW does come by and actually pick up the garbage that is put curbside, is my understanding.
Well, it's, DPW don't, they're little garbage. They're like little garbage. I haven't seen DPW come there at all.
This
But
is,
Councilman, you're saying that there's trash within that gate, right?
Yes.
He's saying that DPW picks it up curbside. You want it clean inside the area, right?
Well, I'm saying both. I'm saying I haven't seen DPW in the actual inside of the gate need to be maintenance at bare minimum, I would guess at least once a week or so. That's why I was asking, do you have a contract with someone that do that?
We have someone there every day and the expectation was.
You got to speak into the mic, sir.
Sorry about that. We do have someone there every day. We could be a bit, we we have someone there every day. We work with DPW. Clearly it's not sufficient. We'll do better.
yeah, they have a 3-person team for the whole city to clean those lots, and one of them is severely ill, so it's an issue citywide. My lots also are not getting cleaned, but
Well, you just said they made X amount of money. There's money there to hire or get something. It just doesn't look good for the community.
Definitely hear your concern, and we'll make this a top priority to get this straightened out as soon as possible.
Let me ask the BA this question, because I know DPW is suffering with staff. That's the problem. Is there any way that DPW will be able to hire any more staff, especially with building the streets? Because this is the issue.
Yeah, we do have the Cleaner Communities grant, but I just defer, we have an answer before Wednesday, whether it's
Okay.
VIA's responsibility to clean the lot. I don't want to provide free services that's at their cost. So I do know we are in charge of removing a curbside, and we'll make sure that that's occurring. And I believe that's where DPW's footprint rests in this operation. But to Councilman Soleil's comment,
Right.
we could definitely use the Clean Communities grant. We used to use it to offset some of our recycling costs, but we could also cost share it. And we'll put that in the budget as we introduce it.
And also, if you guys can invest in the garbage cans with the tops on them, because they're just like open, and once that wind blow, it's free for all. So if you can have the garbage cans with the top on it, that'd be good. They on my back. They're like, how you the councilman? We have the dirtiest lot on the block. So, I just.
Every ward says that about their lots.
We'll definitely work on it, Councilman. Thank you.
I have a concern about, what happens after, this contract is done with the renewal, like, are we just like a test, case study for VIA and then, after the renewal period is over, you guys are gonna jump the prices on us? Or is this, something that, you're gonna seek to maintain this relationship with the city of Jersey City? Or are you gonna, keep
Yeah.
going?
Before he answers, Councilman, I just want to make sure that we're aware it's a competitive
Absolutely.
atmosphere.
Yeah.
One thing we will include in the RFP that the councilman had mentioned prior is that they provide their own parking. So that would be just the segment that I want to put on the record. But it is an open and competitive, while we would like to have VIA continue service, there may be other providers that do also bid on the contract. So they could speak to their commitment, but I just want to make sure that we're not guaranteeing anything into a new cycle.
Let's just say that the baseline standard for what we expect for the price that we pay is something that, we continue to look for in other bidders. And is that, I don't know, can you speak to the services? Are they gonna keep increasing and being better and better, or?
Without crossing into weird procurement territory, this is one of our largest and most important partnerships across the entire world. And so our price per hour will continue to be competitive in an effort to work together for the next decade.
And, those are you guys' vehicles, right? The vehicles
Yes.
are there, okay.
So I wasn't gonna jump in, but figured I might as well, jump in. I have a question. So I understand Councilman Bogiano had a concern with seniors and, with different, and I know this is probably gonna piss people off, right? But my concern is we do have some constituents that are handicapped. Can we get myself and Councilwoman DeGees have a colleague that we work together. I'm not going to share his name, but he's like severely handicapped. Can we get like a commitment from VIA that, we can, if we're going to do it for seniors, right? Can we get a commitment from VIA that we could at least, have some sort of like indigent program for, people with handicaps?
Yeah, Councilman, your comments definitely heard. I think, the service operates really as a public transit service. And, given the funding we had and the level of service, drivers and hours that are in the program, there is a really strong demand. So dedicating any kind of drivers or vehicles specifically for disabled riders would take away from the overall service. That's not to say that it couldn't be explored in the future. In the future, I think there's definitely trade-offs with, any kind of these services, but I'll let VIA speak to like technically, I don't know if there's anything you want to add.
Just two quick things. One is that we are increasing the number of wheelchair accessible vehicles. I don't know if this individual requires a wheelchair, but we are increasing the number of wheelchair accessible vehicles from 6 total to 10 total to meet increased demand for those vehicles. And then number two is that over the last 6 months or so, we've been in front of about 6 different community organizations with 3 more planned, primarily in wards A and F. So only saying that to say that we'd be happy to talk to this individual rider, number one. And number two, if there are groups of riders who want more education on the accessibility of the service or how to use it, we're obviously happy to be in touch.
So I'd be happy to share that information with you specifically.
Thank you, Councilmember.
Thank you.
I guess my last question, or not really a question, I want to know if we can get like a breakdown of ridership as it relates to demographics and geographics.
Sure, yeah, we can certainly do that. We survey the ridership on a regular basis, and I could send you those results by Wednesday.
Oh, well, that's efficient, Mike. Okay.
Any more questions?
Mike, can I see you for a second on the side?
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to say VIA's been very, very good. I tried it multiple occasions and it was very convenient and affordable. And, I really appreciate your partnership, and I know it's a big contract, and, it's gotten better, so keep up the good work.
Jennifer, which one you for? I don't have.
Yes, sorry, I have 4 resolutions that I need to go over. Oh, okay, thank you.
Have a slip.
Offer Cohen.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Council President, members of City Council. HHS Food and Nutrition has one item for your consideration this evening. Resolution 24107, agenda number 10.19, a resolution authorizing the submission of a grant application for the New Jersey Department of Agriculture's what should read 2024 Summer Food Service Program. So I just want to make aware of that error. This is just the first step in the process for us to be able to submit an application to the state for the 2024 Summer Food Service Program.
I'll have that resolution corrected for your offer.
Thank you.
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Deja?
Good afternoon, members of the council. I'm here for agenda item number 10.8, resolution 24-096. This is a resolution requesting the authorization of a mortgage discharge in addition to the discharge of a declaration of covenants. So this property is located at 1209 Summit Avenue and it's unit 309. So this is a condominium building and they received emerging market subsidy funds for this property. So what is required is it has a 15-year restricted period. So if the owner of the condo wants to sell that condo during that restricted period, they're required to sell it to another low-income buyer. So this owner was interested in selling the unit. He has found another income qualified buyer. So we are asking the council to authorize the BA to sign the mortgage discharge and the discharge of the covenant so the sale can proceed.
So what happens if the new recipient decides, does the restrictions follow? Do the 15-year period start over? Is it a continuation from when the previous person had it? What happens?
On this property, it is subject to a shared appreciation deed restriction. So it will follow the property through the 15-year restricted period. So if this buyer wants to in turn sell within the next year, they too will be required to find another affordable buyer for this condo unit.
And so how long, if you know?
They've completed 11 years.
Oh, okay.
And they have a balance of about 4 years left on the restriction.
Wow, you could have waited 4 more years. Good Lord. Somebody's about to make some money. All right. Yeah. Hey, if you want to sell it.
Okay.
Hey, right. Thank you.
Stacy?
Stacy, oh, sorry. That's icon.
Good afternoon, President Waterman and Council. I have 2 resolutions. Resolution 10 item number 1017, resolution 24105. This is to accept a donation from a local fundraiser to help support the Jersey City Animal Shelter. I think Councilman Rivera remembers this time a year ago this week where Scott Reichner died as complications to a fire, and his dog was unable to be removed properly through our former contractor, and his friends, particularly Emily Palmer and Tom Finn, organized a fundraiser in his honor to open up fund, as the GOAT Fund, in Scott's honor to support people in dire straits at the shelter. And then I have item 1018, which is resolution 2406, a resolution authorizing the execution of a memorandum of understanding with St. Hubert's Animal Welfare Center and the Jersey City Animal Care and Control Division to help support Jersey City's process with transferring animals for adoption and support services. And in fact, this past week, St. Hubert's hosts a monthly animal enrichment donation program, and Jersey City was this month's recipient of animal enrichment toys for the animals and additional animal food to support our upcoming food pantry for pets.
Stacy, on this 1018.
Yes.
Do you want to say something first, Mike?
No, Rich, age before beauty.
Huh?
You can go.
I've been receiving numerous calls on this here, and people would like this pulled until we get some guarantee from this organization that they're not going to euthanize the animals.
So just to be clear, St. Hubert's is the best practices animal shelter in the state of New Jersey. We are not transferring animals at this time. We are just recipients of enrichment, which is gifts from the MOU. But I can provide you more detail. I would ask to not pull it because you're continuing to pull my animal care and control items really makes it difficult for me to move forward in a lot of those types of work that I'm doing. But just to be clear, St. Hubert's is one of many rescue organizations that I'm going to bring to you to ensure that we can actually get dogs and cats adopted out, because if we don't have partners across the rescue community, we can't help other people who are ready to adopt animals.
You get from them by Thursday a definition of.
Oh yeah, I'll get everything.
Not going
for
to
you
kill
tomorrow.
animals, because I said I got 1 million calls coming in.
Okay.
People are calling me, and I can see their concern. I don't want to see any animal killed.
Mhm.
So please, before Thursday, please get me.
Great, you'll get it tomorrow.
So
Stacy, how does this work? Like when we get an animal, they then take it over and they handle the adoption
get in
process?
animals every day. In fact, I was there today watching a family surrender their animal. Typically, it takes with a surrender, we'll immediately, because the person has given us permission, we'll organize with our vets who are on contract to spay, neuter, microchip, and get the animal all of their necessary immunizations based on age and et cetera. And then we'll put the animal up for adoption. Right now, in-house, we have 19 dogs, 24 cats, and two kittens. And every day we accept adoption applications and get people ready for adoption. I think the way the city exists, we funnel a lot of that communication up through the Division of Communications. And over the weekend, I reached out to the business administrator with our current data, which I'm sharing with you right now, just to maybe have more support in continual outreach around adoptions. And that's, every day we're adopting out whoever we can, whenever we can, and we utilize partners to do additional work. So next council meeting, I'll bring to you a memorandum to take some dogs out of the shelter for training, for therapy dog training for local veterans, so that we can move some more animals to have the type of training that a veteran might need for PTSD or other things. So
So this company would handle that adoption process?
It's a local New Jersey nonprofit. They don't handle our adoption process. Sometimes someone will call us and say, hey, do you have X animal? Because we have someone at our rescue or someone that filed for an adoption paperwork that's interested in X animal. Oftentimes that happens more with cats or kittens because we have so many more cats and kittens from the feral cat community, and oftentimes that's where we're often moving cats and working with local rescue groups for adoptions. But if someone said, hey, we have enough room for X number of large animals right now, of the 19 dogs we have, 18 of them are large dogs. One of them's a dog under 25 pounds. So just trying to share across networks. If someone has someone interested in adoption, then we transfer. So last month we transferred 4 animals to hospice rescues because these animals, one had cancer, one had an ear infection, was blind, was deaf. And so a rescue organization found us someone that would care for that animal because it was not by veterinary standards adoptable.
So this organization, as like what they will help with capacity?
Yes, all organizations. That's what it's part of a global network. So one, St. Hubert's is known for their expertise in the field, and 2, they get large donations because they're a nonprofit. So just as a reminder, the city, it's difficult to take a donation, hence my resolution that took a while to be able for me to bring it forth from a community group that was interested in opening up a fund in a name. But we don't normally take daily donations like a local nonprofit because every donation requires a resolution to ensure that there's no pay to play going on. So St. Hubert's is a local nonprofit, so they have the ability to take in donations. They get a significant donation from Chewy Corporation, which is one of the dog delivery service companies that delivers toys and things for your animal. So it's like a Instacart for doggy stuff. And so they are a major funder of St. Hubert's. St. Hubert's on a monthly basis picks an organization. And so this month we are that organization. So that's what instituted this MOU.
So I'm confused on the exact service rendered and if we need said service. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
So we need every partner willing to work with us because that's what we can only hold so many animals. And so at the current rate of animal surrender and strays, every partner that can help us adopt animals out is a valid partner. St. Hubert's is like a specialty partner because they're a local nonprofit that is excellent in their field. So they operate a shelter, but they also operate enrichment support services for other partner shelters because in the shelter, there's a network similar to referral networks. I hate to use the doctors and nurses and HMOs, but you go into the doctor and you need to see X, Y, or Z doctor, one for your heart, one for your lungs, one for your knee, and you get referred out. So St. Hubert's is sort of one of those best practices nonprofits, ones to emulate, right, in the community that's not only doing their own adoptions, but helping others move adoptions across that network.
So how long typically would a dog stay or animal stay in our custody before it transfers over?
Any dog. So we're not moving dogs unless we don't have any room. we will keep a dog as long as we need to keep a dog. If they're healthy, they stay with us. Obviously, we'd prefer dogs not to be in a cage most of the day, right? So we'd prefer to have fosters and adoptions, but we're one entity, whereas the network across the state is rather large. So some people might not want a large dog in their small apartment, and a large dog might make more sense in a place where someone has a large yard.
How long does it take to adopt? That's all he wants.
It takes like 72 hours to actually adopt, but people have to want to adopt
Right.
the dogs that we have. And if they don't, then like we have some dogs that have been with us for almost 30 days already.
Right.
And so we'd like to move those dogs to a place where they have greater runs, more capacity, have more support services to push adoptions out.
Okay, and so you were saying these guys are like one of the cream of the crops.
Yeah.
They are.
Type of
And I think
service.
I don't know if any of you have had experience with them, but I do know that they are one of the best practice nonprofits that do this work.
Thank you.
I was gonna say, can we have them work with seniors too? Like have the animals come sometimes to like a senior event, like, you know.
Well, that is not allowed by the city policy. So the city policy says no animals in city buildings. So I've been working with the BA's office on that with the therapy dog out of the Jersey City Police Department, POB.
Opening up a can of worms here, Councilman.
What happened?
Said you're really opening a can of worms here.
Also,
We did it in the law school. It's like one day where before finals, and they did it in college. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's an administrative policy that I am not in charge of.
Do we, are we currently doing spade and neuter?
Yes, so far to date, up till yesterday, the data, we've done 108 spay and neuters.
Oh, okay.
Majority internal. I think, so just like I said earlier, we've got 19 dogs in house, 24 cats in house, 2 kittens. The month of January, we did 86 spay and neuter. To date, we've done 22. And we've adopted nearly 24 animals out. And we're moving and transferring animals without MOUs. This MOU with St. Hubert's is more comprehensive about donations they give us. And it's really to get animals adopted out. But we have them fill out paperwork when they come in, and they're vetted through the shelter system. And every time we have a short list, we'll come and bring to you a list of those healthier JC partners that are supporting our work.
Thank you.
But I think only a few people have come to visit the shelter. I know that Council President has, Councilwoman Prinzeri has, the BA has been out there. So anytime you'd like to come and visit. we'd love
I'll
to show
be
you
coming.
around.
I'm going to
Take
bring
you
a
up on
couple
that.
cats in my area too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
So you
Thank
bring
you.
a
Thank you,
cat.
Director. Maynard.
Good afternoon, Council President and council members. I only have one item I'm going to speak on. It's Resolution 24-109, Agenda number 10.21. It's a resolution of the City Council amending Resolution 23-853 to continue the imposition of the moratorium on accepting applications for Class 5 cannabis retail licenses. It's extending it until April 30th of 2024.
And then what happens after that?
How many pot places?
And we'll start accepting applications.
Can we just extend it to the end of the year? Like,
What we gonna, so we gonna start accepting applications after April 30th?
Correct.
There's no room for no one else to go.
I think the reason that we're extending it, in intervals is because we're still waiting for the amendment of the ordinance that's going to put the cap on.
And myself and Councilwoman Ridley met with Tom Slattery from the Law Department because the state is also weighed in on consumption. So we're trying to bundle all of that together to bring it back to council. So this brings us with a little bit more breathing room until the ordinance.
Wait, but so how many because I met with them. How many council people are we working with here? Like, so that we can be on the same page here, because, you know, we're actually, I met with them and we're actually waiting on an amendment as well.
Councilman, did you meet with Tom? Okay. Yeah, he can meet individually or, up to 3 council people at a time. So if we need to share the different amendments, obviously it would come all as one ordinance change.
Council, what I suggest is we have him provide a memo of all the meeting minutes, and then we could discuss a route from there with individual or segments of meetings. It's probably best that we just make an affidavit of everything on one page anyway.
So this is for April 3rd. I mean, I guess my concern is that we're already, there's so many applications in the pipeline the horse is out the barn at this juncture. They racing.
Right now, the CCB, we've approved 60 applications. The council has approved 41.
41 in Jersey.
And how many you guys approved? 60?
60, and the council's approved 41.
So that
Right now, we only have 60.
represent our 40 as well? Or no?
Your 41 is within the 60.
Yes.
So currently, right now, there's 60 that you guys have reviewed. How many is in the queue?
It's like,
Ending, we have about 6.
Oh, that's it?
We have 6 that haven't gone in front of the board, the CCB yet. But there's 41, so we only have 6 open. So it's really 35 that are in the queue waiting to open and get the final approval from the state.
So you gonna cap it at 100? But
you gotta, the problem is the resolution has to come forth. It's just keep opening up. You have to get to that point where you say, this is how many we're gonna have and that's it.
Rich, what do you say, Rich?
I think it's disgusting, Devin. Gonna ruin the city.
why can't we extend the moratorium for longer? I don't understand.
I'll leave that up to the.
Yeah, Councilman, we just suggest that we do it every few months to keep the conversation continuous about the amendment. If we say January, we know we won't present a memo and amendment rather until January. So every few weeks we have the working subcommittees and then, we have to make a decision in April. Are we going to entertain the amendment or then continue to extend it?
Anything else, Mayor?
No.
That's it?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tanya?
I'm here for 3.5 and 10.31. 3.5 is literally just fixing typos. There is no substance whatsoever. But we do have to go through the formal process of amending it. In 1031 is a resolution to to continue our contract with Hunter, who reviews all of our demo applications. They're our historic preservation consultant. And that's really it, yeah.
So you're saying it's just a typo error, right? For for 3.5?
That's literally all it is. Some renumbering, we have a couple of double numbers, so yeah.
Okay.
Leave.
That's it, Tanya. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay.
Yen?
Oh, here we go.
She left? Oh, no, she
No, she's there.
Good afternoon, Council President, council members. I have 4 resolutions to present today. First one is item 1024, resolution 24-112. NJ Transit has acquired ANC bus, and so they have requested additional bus stops on Claremont, Mallory, SIP, and West Side, and this would service the old 440 shopper. Okay, next one is item 1025, resolution 24-113. This is just to amend an existing bus stop at Duncan and Mallory, and that's just to shorten the bus stop to match up the new striping that's out there.
Question.
Yes.
Wait, so for 1024, are they adding service or it's just a change in the route?
It should be the existing route and they're just adding bus stops. I think the ANC didn't have official bus stops. So this is, this would be designating official NJ Transit bus stops.
Gotcha. Thank you.
No questions on 25, right? Okay, so 1026, resolution 24-114. This is relocating an existing bus stop at MLK and Kearney Avenue. The existing bus stop is in front of the new public safety building, so they're just moving it to the other side of the street to accommodate the police vehicles. Okay, and then the last one is item 1028.
Jen, can you back up for a second?
Oh, sure.
So we're moving the bus stop from one side of the street to the other side of the street, right?
Yes, so they are removing the near side northbound bus stop at MLK and Kearney. And then they're just putting it at the far side.
But wouldn't it be going in two different directions if we move it from one side of the street to the other?
No,
or
it'll
are
stay
you
the northbound. It's just instead of
just a
the
different block?
approach to the intersection going northbound, it's at the receiving approach of the.
Okay, but on the same side of the street, yes.
Okay. The last one is 1028, resolution 24-116, and this is a resolution authorizing a professional services agreement with Advanced Cardiac Care LLC, and this is to continue assisting the Municipal Council Committee on Reserve Parking for the disabled to continue reviewing the applications.
Jennifer, do me a favor, please. Last Saturday, not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before, I guess you heard, I was getting calls at 7 o'clock in the morning because Pavonia Avenue was closed, creating traffic, number one, making a lot of noise, bringing in generators. No one should be working on Saturday and Sunday disturbing the neighborhood. We go through enough Monday through Friday. If in the future, anything like this has to happen, please notify me and notify the people in the area, because a lot of people were really ticked off at me, blaming me, and I had nothing, I didn't know about it. I ran up there and they showed me, they said, oh, they had permits to work. I said, where are the permits? Oh, we don't have them. I understand after the cops went down later on, I think they closed them down. But please, no more Saturday, no more Sunday work. Yesterday, I had to have Ray Myers go over and close down a major outfit today because they were working yesterday, blocking the streets on a federal holiday. People are just getting tired of it. Please, Jennifer, notify me and notify the areas and the residents with flyers that something like this is going to be done on a weekend, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll notify you. Thank you.
John, I think in light of, not talking John, in light, because there is a plethora of construction going on. The city, we wouldn't lose nothing by having an inspector come around. I've seen one of them, I think either this Saturday or last Saturday, he said he gave out 7 tickets because people know that we're not out there, we're not policing.
Correct.
And if they can take a shortcut, they'll take a shortcut. So if we just, I don't know, 2 weekends, or we just do it for the next 60 days, we will send a message that we're not, because it's a huge quality of life disturbance, especially for people that work all week, and Saturday and Sundays is their day to
I
rest.
agree, Councilman. I would just prefer to discuss the schedule offline. This way we don't let everybody know when we're having it. But I agree. I think that we just have to make some schedule changes, and we could do that through the
Can we just outlaw non-city related construction? And if it has to go through, it has to go through council approval?
Yeah, I mean, I
That's
have to check code, but I think it's already,
It's
able-
already-
We just have to enforce it as the.
Yeah, that's what it is,
It's not,
the enforcement.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'm happy to have the conversation with the council. I just don't want to have a public conversation on when we're going to do the enforcement, the work around us.
To piggyback off of Councilman Gilmore, people who are closing down the roads or doing construction without permits is also not being enforced. There's a lot of road closures, and when you contact Director Barker's office, Director Patel's office, she's not aware of some of them because they're not putting in the right permits, and that does need to be enforced more.
Yeah, I mean, for some of those, unfortunately, it's cat and mouse, but we will have inspectors available that when those are reported, that they can immediately respond.
Where are the inspectors?
can we put them under Barca's office or no? Like inspectors, because they have no enforcement mechanism. I don't know.
Yeah, we could definitely have a follow-up conversation on that about where they should be housed. They are in public safety because they do have ticket writing ability through that, but we'll have to take a look at if we put them in infrastructure, if that would have to be amended through ordinance. We don't want to give anybody a scapegoat that the tickets are illegal, so we just want to make sure we do it the right way.
Could public safety be involved in any way? I mean, police that are, going around in their vehicles, if they see something like that, there should be some sort of communication with the department, whether there's a permit or not, or if they're aware of it. And they can also issue tickets, not necessarily on the permits, but just for closing down the street or doing construction during.
Absolutely. Also, the assessors, sounds like I got a cold. Also the assessor's office, because they're out doing inspections 7 days a week as well for illegal construction.
Public safety, John.
I don't know.
Public safety enforce anything when, like on Saturday and Sunday, when you have the construction going on, they have off-duty cops working there. When the people in public safety should know it's illegal to work on Saturdays and Sundays.
I think we should have a meeting on this. I agree.
This is what I'm trying to get through with Shay when I asked him for certain information. I'm tired of asking for it. My neighborhood's been destroyed, and some of these people here are gonna get their neighborhoods destroyed, especially Ward D and B and A over the next couple of years. And they're gonna go through what I've gone through in Hilltop for the last several years, and I'm tired of it.
Yeah, let's get a 7-day enforcement schedule up and running in the next 2 weeks. We'll share that with the council. And then if it's not working or it's working, we could discuss it.
Yeah, and John, you issue a summons, if you can get a summons issued, and it's $1,000 or $500. Developers don't give a damn because they'll pay it. It's a joke to them. We have to raise the fines to $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. You want to disobey the laws of Jersey City, you got to pay for it.
As the legislature.
No permits till you pay it.
Yeah, as a state legislature, as the legislature, we could discuss an amendment there. Just keep in mind, we'll work with the law department because there are state caps. You can't arbitrarily say, $50,000. There are caps, but we could meet those maximum thresholds.
Afternoon, Council President, members of the council. I'm here on behalf of Councilman Solomon's office regarding Ordinance 3.2, Ordinance 24008, an ordinance amending chapters 175, food handling establishments, and chapter 242, peace and good order of the Code of Ordinances to establish regulations for third-party delivery companies and food delivery drivers. This ordinance, we started working on this ordinance as a result of the restaurants reaching out to us and other council members, is regarding the expiration of the COVID caps on delivery fees that were expiring at the end of last year. They were asking for a permanent solution. We reached out to start work with the law department on this, and we came up with a solution based on a license that the food delivery companies will need to have with the city. We suggested Commerce. We are open on that suggestion about where exactly the license should be. But the idea of having this license allows us to create a general structure of regulations that we felt we could place on the delivery companies by again, if they have to have the license to operate, you could take it away if they were to violate any set of ordinances. And looking at the examples of other cities, we found 3 primary areas where we felt that these companies need to be regulated. The first being their relationship with the restaurants. So this would include their contracts with the restaurants, their agreements with them, and the cap system. Second would be basic protections for the drivers. And third would be having, sort of enlisting the companies as responsible for maintaining street safety when they have their bike drivers on our streets. For the first segment, we looked at what DC, Philadelphia, and San Francisco and Seattle are doing, in that they created for a permanent cap instead of a flat cap as they had during COVID, a sort of a tiered system where they must provide basic delivery service at 15%. If they want to offer more and restaurants want to pay for more, they can do so. But we're setting a baseline of 15% for the most basic delivery service and defining what that is. It also includes some other basic protections for the restaurants around their contracts. The second section is something you're seeing in multiple cities, basic protections for the drivers, the ability to see their tips, the ability to cancel, to see how long rides are and cancel them without extreme penalties. And the third section we looked at, for example, based off of what New York is doing, which is to require basic safety equipment worn by the drivers, and in addition to make it so that the drivers are identifiable as working for the company because they are commercial vehicles and working as agents of these companies. So a vest or something with a number saying Uber Eats or whatever company's name, the number driver they are, so that law enforcement could identify them, or if something went wrong, anyone could identify them. And also making it so that the company is also accountable for the actions of their drivers on our streets to ensure that everyone is, working towards giving Jersey City streets safe. So that's like a basic overview. I know we went over this with much of the council. We're looking, I think, does anyone have any questions?
Some critics might say that this is governmental overreach in terms of, the government getting involved in contracts. Like, what would you say to people that think this is, a bridge too far, or, we should get involved with, Uber Eats and the restaurants and the bikers?
Multiple cities have taken similar actions to ensure basically that there's a level playing field, because you have an industry that's very concentrated in the hands of a couple large players. The restaurants basically have no choice but to work with them. And so we just want to set basic rules to ensure that both sides are playing fair, but also at the same time allowing the flexibility to ensure that everyone is, all interests are balanced.
If I just add this, that New York City set a flat cap on the fees that you can't go higher. And so we chose not to do that. And we chose instead the floor of saying, hey, you've got to do the basic floor, but you can go higher. And that's what I think, as Isaac said, Seattle, Philadelphia, Washington, DC have done. So similar to that. And then I did reach out to those cities and has spoken to kind of the restaurant associations.
Yes, we spoke to representatives from two of the cities. It's notable that DC had an ordinance last year. They're redoing it to add some of the extra rules around their 15% cap, because they found that they created a 15% cap, which was just too ambiguous and too fluid, and the companies were able to just run through it. Same thing with Philadelphia. They were basically bringing companies up to the next higher tier without even telling them. So we're trying to basically create a tier at 15%. Again, just Councilman Salay's point, we're going to do this. You have to have basic rules to make it clear what is allowable, what the deal is for everyone. If you have a 15 and I've signed a contract for 15, I should stay at 15 until I expressly say I don't. I shouldn't be moved up or around without being told. It should be clear what that means. What am I getting for 15%? Because in some cities, it's not clear. They didn't write it out, and people are getting nothing basically with 15. So we wanted to make it clear. And so we're kind of in line with what DC's currently right now introducing as well, to bring their standard to in that area.
There's a biker registration system in this as well.
So what we're asking is for the companies to keep track of their drivers and to have an ID that's visible, so that if a driver does something, or if he's stopped, we can identify them as an employee, as a commercial driver for that company. We're not going to be having any names. We're not going to be, holding a list of drivers. We're asking the company to do that. And the companies already know who their drivers are. We're asking them to have a number for the driver that we can also see.
I think the state, I'm not sure, I just asked Mira, I think the state just passed something on the bicycles today about registration, et cetera, et cetera.
That's a separate thing. That's for like the they want individual bikers of some type to register. So we're just asking that these commercial drivers, these are commercial vehicles working for a company, that they have their.
It involves all bicycles, commercial and non-commercial.
The state one, yeah, but we're doing something totally different there, and I don't know where the state one is going exactly.
But I'll tell you what, Isaac, you guys did a real amazing job with this. I mean, I think there's a very, very, very good ordinance here that you guys did. Really good.
If council's okay, just procedurally, we would ask us if we can introduce, but have the second reading or at our second meeting in March 20th. We just know that we are getting feedback, and so we just want to move it forward, but also have time for obviously our office, but all of our offices to take feedback in. And if there's any changes, we don't want to have a, last minute, before the meeting on the 6th thing. Gives us all a little bit of time to focus on any amendments folks are interested in. And if council's amenable to that, that's what we'd love to.
So if that's the intention of the council, I would just need a motion on Thursday meeting to do that. Not today, on Thursday.
Thank you, Clerk.
Questions? Council, have a good day.
Good job, Isaac. Like your things, turtleneck.
Okay.
Good job. Yes.
Alrighty, on to our first reading ordinances. Item 3.1, City Ordinance 24-007 is an ordinance naming the playground located at J. Owen Grundy Park, the Jeremy Farrell Playground, in honor of Jeremy Farrell. Item 3.2 was touched on earlier. Item 3.3, City Ordinance 24-009, which is an ordinance of the Municipal Council of the City of Jersey City adopting amendments to the Polis Hook redevelopment plan, creating block 11606 redevelopment plan. And I believe our BA would like to address the council on this.
Yeah, Sean, Council President, we're just asking to carry this one meeting. We can withdraw it and then reintroduce it at the following meeting. Tanya has already spoken to the petitioner and we're just working through some final details.
Thank you, BA. Next, item 3.4, City Ordinance 24-010 is an ordinance amending Chapter 69 Special Improvement Districts, Article 2, Central Avenue Special Improvement District. Item 3.5 was touched on earlier. On to our second reading ordinances.
I just want to explain 3.4. Sorry, I know we zoomed past it, but for anyone that watches, we're removing the sunset provision for the Central Avenue SID. So Central Avenue SID was the first SID created, and there was a sunset provision that said, like, after the first 2 years, every 5 years, they have to continue to vote on their very existence. What this ordinance does is it removes that language and brings it in line with the other enacting ordinances for the special improvement districts. And that's that. Housekeeping.
Thank you, Councilman. That was not my intention to zoom through. Item 4.1, City Ordinance 24-004 is an ordinance of the Municipal Council adopting amendments to the Powerhouse Arts District redevelopment plan to incorporate educational uses. Item 4.2, City I'm sorry, go ahead.
Did we confirm that we were able to make the change on 4.1, that we had amended it to so instead of educational uses, it says schools?
We did, and unfortunately, for some reason, when I published the agenda initially, those changes didn't go through, but I republished it today, and everything should be reflecting of the changes that you made at the last meeting.
Thank you, Clerk.
You're welcome. Item 4.2, City Ordinance 24-005 is an ordinance authorizing the City of Jersey City to execute an extension of a lease with New Jersey Schools Development Authority on real property at Block 21102, Lot 52 on the city's tax map, located at 70 Ege Avenue for the purpose of temporary parking for the VJC service. Item 4.3, City Ordinance 24-006 is an ordinance supplementing Chapter 332, Vehicles and Traffic, Article 3, Parking, Standing, Stopping, amending Section 332-22, Parking Prohibited at all times, and Section 332-27, Angled Parking on Elm Street west of Kennedy Boulevard. And then we have our public speakers. Right now, we have 60. On to our petitions and communications. Any questions or comments on items 6.1 through 6.13? Hearing none, there are no officer communications. Any questions or comments on report of directors 8.1 through 8.6? We have our claims and then on to our resolutions. First resolution, item 10.1, resolution 24-089 is a resolution honoring the 20th anniversary of Walker's Akakari. Did I get that right? Item 10.2, resolution 24-090 is a resolution recognizing the Sikh Heritage month of April 2024. Council President, is the intention of the council to withdraw this until the March 6th meeting?
Yes, he'll be back then.
Yeah, you don't have any problems with that? Okay. All right, next, item 10.3, resolution 24-091 is a resolution recognizing the Jersey City Immigrant Affairs Commission Equality Day. Item 10.4 was touched on earlier. Item 10.5, resolution 24-093 is a resolution reappointing Karen DeSoto as a full-time judge of the Jersey City Municipal Court. Item 10.6, resolution 24-094 is a resolution reappointing, Paul Scalia as a full-time judge of the Jersey City Municipal Court. Both resolutions have resumes and the mayor's letter attached. Item 10.7, resolution 24-095 is a resolution introducing and approving the 2024 budget of the Jackson Hill Main Street Special Improvement District, directing the city clerk to publicly advertise the budget and schedule a public hearing, and directing the tax assessor to prepare an assessment roll of properties within the district based upon the budget. Items 10.8 through 10.19 were touched on earlier. Item 10.20, resolution 24-108 is a resolution authorizing the renewal of a contract with Remedy Analytics, Inc. for auditing the prescription drug plans. Items 10.21 through 10.26 were touched on earlier. Item 10.27, resolution 24-115 is adopting a revised deferred compensation plan for the purpose of making available employees the accrual of tax benefits under Section 457 Deferred Compensation Plan. Items 10.28 through 10.36 were touched on earlier. Item 10.37, resolution 24-125. It's a resolution authorizing the award of an open-end contract to Nusco, also known as Nelson Westberg of New Jersey, to provide moving services of the Department of Public Works Division of Administrative Services. Item 10.38, resolution 24-126 is a resolution amending municipal resolution 23-497, reappointing Laura Teresi as deputy tax assessor. Item 10.39, resolution 24-127 is a resolution of support and need within the Jersey City affordable housing at 44 Newkirk Street. Items 10.40 through 10.42. Brittany, would you like to take them?
Sure, Sean, we'll provide a memo just as to the status of them. These are all renewals and one is an appeal. I'm just trying to obtain the status on 1042 and I'll let the council president know.
Any questions, council, on any of the items 10.40 to 42? Okay, hearing none.
Motion.
Nope.
Oh, no, wait.
Next 10.43, I'll exit motion.
Damn.
Resolution 24, now who's zooming through? 24-131, reappointing Maureen K. Hewlings as a member of the Jersey City Municipal Utilities Authority. And last but not least, item 10.44, resolution 24-132, appointing Anna Soto as an alternate member number 2 of the Jersey City Municipal Utilities Authority. Both resolutions have the mayor's letter and resume attached.
Clerk, can I be able to offline get the email for the appointment for 1044?
I will share with you both, yes.
I have 1043s already, but yeah, 1044.
I'll share with you both.
Thank you.
No problem. May I have a motion to adjourn at
Second.
5:26 PM? I'm going to give the motion to Councilperson Soleil, since he did it first, and then I'll give a second to Councilperson Gilmore.
Or you got?
On the motion to adjourn at 5:26 PM, all council members present by acclamation, please say aye.
Aye.
We are out of here at 5:26 PM. Thank you so much, everybody present and everyone watching at home. Remember, teamwork makes the dream work. Have a great night, and please stay safe.
Boycotting. Mixer at 6:30 meeting at 7.
No, we're protesting the media right now. We're not talking to the media.